All right, so thank you guys for joining back here at TradeFX Zoom call. So just gonna take a quick look and discuss current markets right now, what we have happening going on within the market right now. So not much to really start the day off here. Things have been kind of quiet. We did see, however, from the previous week, we had a sharp fall, a sharp decline on the US dollar, right? So taking a closer look at the US dollar right now, look at the 4 hour and even the daily, we can see here that price has fallen quite a bit significantly here on the DXY. So compared to last week, something that I noted as well is that moving into this week, what we'd like to see is this support area within this overall daily uptrend being maintained. This is the next supportive area that we basically have all the technicals, the big banks, everybody basically paying attention to, because if price does manage to fall underneath this, then we'll probably see a continuation of that decline in the US dollar. Right. So that's something we're paying attention to right now. And as you can see on previous day, this would have been Sunday, right? We saw that price continue moving downwards, right, as market opened. Today as well, Monday. Right, we're coming almost to the market close in around 3 hours, right? And price has been moving with that continuous downward sort of trend, right? So this here is the next targeted level that we are paying attention to. And we're looking to see if price maintains this. Now, in terms of catalyst and the expectancy probability, let's take a look at some of the fundamentals we have coming up. All right, let's just take a quick look. So fundamentally, what we have, let's see if we have anything for the US dollar this week. Not much. We have some Fed speeches for PPI. Really, PPI doesn't cause much of any movement, historically speaking. So I'm not expecting much from that either. Yeah, no, we don't really have anything. We don't really have anything for this for the US dollar. We do have jobless claims and more Fed speeches, but in terms of highly impacting news, not much for the USD, right? So that being said, we could possibly continue seeing this downward climb in the US dollar, right? Overall, this is probably the more likely scenario that price continues falling. So on these USD pairs, we would be looking for sell setups or sell opportunities, right? One pair that I really like here is USD CAD. Taking a closer look, if we're looking here at the 4 hour, we could possibly see some retracement back into these significant levels here, such as this level right here. Or we could see price continue with that downtrend, as we are very heavily bearish on the US dollar right now, right? So just for example, looking here at the 1 hour, right, we can see that price has rejected from this level multiple times, and we came up into this level a little bullishly, right, on the day. However, with the overall trend being that the US dollar is weak, we could possibly see a continuation of that decline, right? So we may have some sellers right here trying to take control of this market and a possible move even lower on this particular pair. So right around here, this looks like a pretty good entry for me. This would be a trade that I would take with my stops right above the level, above these candle wicks right here, and making this like a 1, 2, 3, targeting the lows of these areas, right? Because the expectancy is to see price come back into these lows, right? So right now we are very bearish on the dollar. So this looks like a more likely scenario to play out. Other things that we have going on the fundamental side, not too much, right? We're really setting up for next year. So we're paying attention to those fundamental data as they come out throughout November, coming to November, and we do have some more interest rates, as well as December, we have more interest rate decisions being made. So all of that should help influence the currency movement, right? And basically be the catalyst setting us up for next year. Looking at the other USD pairs right now, we can see that we're just basically ranging in these major zones, right? So take a little look out here on daily. Right, we saw price came back into this daily zone last week on market close. As you can see, we started ranging and basically just bouncing in that area, right? So we basically was ranging right into within that area. Continuing forward, I am expecting a break to the upside. That is the more likely scenario, and continuations for the AD. All right, and this is from the perspective that the US dollar is weak, and not like not to say that the AD is strong or anything, right? This is more on the back of that US dollar weakness, right? So that could be expectancy. We could see markets push this even higher, right? After the session change, after the gap, after spreads have finished widening and all of that, we could see that continuation to the upside and then get some volume from the London and NY open. So that is something that we could potentially see as well. However, moving forward, yeah, that's basically all that we have to look at, right? All the other pairs basically same thing setting up. We did have a setup here on CAD JPY. As you can see, the yen, I'm not really too interested in buying the yen just because in terms of where the Japanese yen is at, it's very neutral, right? Not much goes on with the Japanese economy. So it's very neutral and considered a safe haven pair because of that, right? Because of that neutrality. That being said, we did retest back into this level and trended down. However, moving forward, I'm not too certain, right? We could continue that downtrend, but I do think we have a high chance of actually possibly filling out this zone, right? Taking a look here on the daily, we can see that we have been continuously trending up, right? So we just take some of these levels and we mark them. We see that price came into this area, retested, continued back up. We have these multiple rejections from this area where price maintained the support and pushed up. So if we're talking about the likely case of where prices continue, we could see this being held as a support level and then price continue moving upwards. Now, if I am to enter a trade on this, or if you want to enter a trade on this, I think the best possibility or the best case scenario would be to wait until price actually pushes even higher. So once we get like a break above this resistance and a retest, then those continuations higher seems more likely. It seems more probable to actually happen, right? Rather than trying to enter it early with the possibility that price could even, come back down into the zone even lower, right? So seeing a break above that area seems more likely for the continuations, if you ask me. Also looking at the Europeans, basically same thing, ranging. EuroCAD, we did get a couple of trades out of EuroCAD in the VIP. Price did maintain the support level right here. And then we had those continuations that you can see as price retested this lower area into that support. We saw this bullish candle close very impulsively, right? We saw this impulsive push. We take a look here. So if you take a look here at the 15-minute candles, we can see that price pushed above this zone, and then we had this very impulsive bullish push movement upwards, right? Then on the next candle, we had price coming back lower. So with that being said, it does seem like we may have a continuation of this even higher. But right now, in terms of where the fundamentals and the price action is at, it looks to me that we could possibly retrace all the way back down around to the entry point of this, right? So if I'm to continue to, take a trade on this or look for a possible setup, you want a full retest and then some bullish rejection just to give extra confluence that, okay, buyers still have this under control. Before we even dip to the downside, right? We may not need to do that to see those buy continuations. So this right here is one level that you want to pay attention to as price retest that for possible continuations upward. All right. Euro GBP, about the same thing, right? So price moved up at the beginning of the day, then we came back down, and now we kind of just consolidated in that area again. Right? Euro NZD, same thing, and Euro USD, same thing as the AD USD, as well as CAD, USD CAD, right? Price came back into this major zone very bullishly, and we just kind of consolidating right now, right? Price just bouncing up and down between these two areas, right? And I do think that we have more of a likelihood of continuing upwards, right? But at this point in time, I can't say for certainty what I would like to do with this, right? I would like to wait for the price to actually break above this zone and see those continuations. However, there's also the likelihood that we could just come back all the way down and start trading in between these range, right? So that's something to pay attention to. Once we do get a break, then we'll have a sort of a clearer bias as to which side price is going to start moving most of, right? So that's something that we have to pay attention with, have some patience to see. For all the other pairs, it's basically same thing. Some of them just ranging, consolidating, and we can't really expect much, right? Given everything that we do have going on, as well as it being close to the end of the year. Not much is going on in the markets, as you know, currency trading globally would start to slow down or start happening at a slow pace, sorry, right? So we could possibly see the markets come to a slowdown during this time. It's very common to actually see. So we just have to wait for things to kick back up to get more better movements from the markets. But as of now, yeah, this is all that we have happening. All right. I also have a trade here on ADCHF, entered right around here as price pulled back up, right? We entered impulsively for that continuation moving up, filling back out these wicks, right? And I do think we could see a continuation even higher, but as for now, it just looks like price is struggling to actually break above, right? So I'm just gonna leave this open, see what could happen, and what's a possible play that we could get out of this, right? So with that being said, I do think that's all for me, right? I'm not yeah, that's all we have going on. Not really much that could be said about the markets right now, other than it's pretty slow. Right. So thank you for joining in. If you found any of this useful, you might have got a trade or two, or one or two setups that you could implement for yourself, or just see if they work out and just observe and understand, okay, what direction, how you got that, how you arrived to that. So maybe that may be helpful to you. All right. So thanks for joining, guys. Peace.